Hello, geniuses, and welcome back to Blockchain Versus. I am Christina Bruhan with Coin Genius, and I am joined here today by Arnaud St. Paul. Arnaud is the founder of Give Nation and is also working with another brand, Concerts Tonight. He is a social impact guru, a speaker, and just an all-around great humanitarian looking to make a really big impact on the world. Arnaud, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you so much, Christina, for having me. I'm very blessed. Thank you.
Well, I'm excited to get into it. You're doing some really interesting things with music in the blockchain, philanthropy in the blockchain. You're really tapping into the better side of our hearts and souls here. What are you here to share with us today?
Oh, well, lots of things. And I'll do my best to express it in the most concise way. And more importantly, to show you what we can do with blockchain that is here to change the world in a positive way. So the very first thing we're going to look into is my heart project. It's called Give Nation, and it is here really to help humanity become more positive, open our heart to help others, and at the same time to bring about financial education, in this case to children. So let me present you a few slides related to that. And we'll
Please,
doing
take it away.
The shortest we can. And so here we are. Play on this Mac. As you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. So Give Nation, it's a platform that enables children to become not only philanthropists, but also learn and practice a sustainable financial education. So our purpose is to use technology and, more importantly, blockchain to empower a community-led platform that enables our children, the next generation, 1.6 billion children, to become philanthropists, practice sustainable financial literacy, support the UN Sustainable Development Goal, and all that using what we call the Give coin, which is a positive-led currency that connects parents, schools, kids, partners throughout the world in a decentralized community. So what are the type of challenges we're solving? It's not only the debt that our kids, they don't know how to handle debt. Not only is it that, financial education has always been very boring, but also more importantly that our parents do not feel equipped to handle these problems. And so that's what blockchain and Give Nation in this case is here to solve. What we've been developing is an app that motivates children to save, to invest, to earn, to spend, to give to charities, and in an easy way. So these tools that we offer to parents are here to be fun and safe, and as I mentioned, easy to use. They are gamified. So in this case, an Apple Tree enables a child to know how to save, to invest, to earn, to educate himself, and to give to charity. And we'll develop it with a marketplace like Earning and Learning, pop-up shop marketplace, and so on. And that brings us to children that, for instance, like Arjun, who has donated $500,000 to COVID-19 victims by basically selling and auctioning off his trophies. Why? Because he's 3 times world golf champion and he's 15. So in our book, Arjun is also a world champion in terms of altruism and financial education. So the question is, are we ready to empower our kids, yours, also to become like Arjun? I think if we had such a generation, the earth will be, very, very a better place to live in. So what we did in the past few years is we did a trial release in Kosovo, went very well with 1,000 children. We worked then on an MVP, And we were going to launch in partnership with a few operators, telcos, with 25,000 children in Barcelona. COVID happened, didn't work. So we started some remote free compassion classes in the US, and we're starting to recruit kids nowadays, and it's working very well. We have amazing partners like Brave, Everypedia that you know, and a few others, all there to help fight against financial illiteracy, which is, again, a huge issue nowadays in our world. So we have an amazing team, about 12 people working hard to make that happen, with people from different places. Forbes, well, you know, Elise Sam, she's an expert in stable coins, and Patrick from T. McAfee, and a few others. Our originality is about, not only are we teaching about social financial education, but also we're putting the intention with it, which is to be charitable, which is about to select a charity, support it, and therefore see how which impact we're having related to the Sustainable Development Goal. So this is amazing, and that's what has motivated these people to make great comments about Give Nation, and that helped us fuel our growth. We have several means of revenue. One is obviously commissions on the in-app purchases, educational advertising model, and charity concerts, of course. We'll get back to that in a few minutes. We're raising $2 million in a seed round. We already have some interest and self-commitments. It's all about helping us beat financial illiteracy, and with a minimum of $25,000, we're offering a 15% discount convertible note before we launch our first concert that will allow us to get sustainable. Thank you. So that's the first step. Then we can look into the other aspect of what we've been building, which is launching charity concerts with top A artists. And let me share with you a little bit more information about that as well. It is embedded within the scope of what Give Nation is about. It also sits on the blockchain because we saw that there were many problems related with music on the blockchain, and we're going to partner with all the different companies that are solving these aspects so that we can create an ongoing way not only to grow our audience for Give Nation, but also at the same time to entertain and to raise funds for charity and for Give Nation. So in this case, it's music with a mission. We are so experts from music, blockchain, digital marketing, united to sell tickets to global community of fans of our artists. I'll get back to that in a few minutes. It's all about raising donations, engaging the audience, impacting the community. We have partnerships that allows us to broadcast in 360 degrees, streaming up to 8K on VR devices, in augmented reality, and in virtual reality as well. So it's quite probably the best platform on earth at the moment, and we have it. And we are working on 11 partnerships with telcos as well. So this platform enables us to sell tickets, make sure we have a good understanding of our audience, and create an amazing experience for people, like I mentioned earlier. And it's at the same time enabling the artists and the fans to select what kind of cause they want to support in the Give Nation environment, and having the kids being engaged with that. And the kids can also purchase tickets through the Give Nation platform with their GiveCoin, of course. So to give you an idea of what kind of donations we can make, well, it goes from $500,000 to a few million, depending on the audience, depending on the average ticket price. And obviously, part of this revenue goes directly to the underlying company that I'm going to talk about in a second. So now we're going to go into Concerts Tonight, which is the platform that powers Give Music, and which is in partnership with Give Nation. So Concerts Tonight is the investor deck that shows us how we are making things happen in the concerts industry. So Our vision, we are a public benefit corporation, and our purpose is to promote philanthropy through entertainment, having the best and the best platform there is on earth that enables an amazing online experience and provide the top technologies and top experiences to people. The current issue there is on the market is that there is no revenue generation, no monetization for artists, and more so for little destinations, countries. They don't have any means to have access to their artists. So we believe we can provide a platform that is remote, affordable, and that provides an integrated and interactive experience for a cause. And that's going to be our end goal. And we're tackling causes because not only does it allow us to get access to top A artists, but also to solve another issue that blockchain is here to help us to make that happen. Not only to provide NFTs that enables us to create a unique experience with the ticket, but also because when you throw a concert, there are many different aspects or many spends that needs to happen across different stakeholders. And there's a need of transparency in that field that we are aiming to solve. So we're starting as an organizer, but we are building the very first bricks that will enable us to have a fully transparent platform that is self-serve for the artist to throw concerts online through the blockchain. So what we're talking about here is not only accepting payments with BTC and ETH and so on, not only do have NFT card packs, but also pre-financing concerts through STOs, data visualization, and I hope we will do it with CoinGenius, concerts on EOS, and live concerts on the blockchain with VOD and so on. We have an amazing team, very proud to work with them. And so we have Travis from Bad Crypto Podcast. We have Joel as well, and Erin. We have JP Baudet, that is an amazing CTO. Patrick, again, as you've seen. And in the music aspect, Mike Savas has been organizing concerts for Bon Jovi, Oprah, and so on. Edward works with Burning Man, and Christina, here we are, is advising us and helping us out as well. And many more. So a very powerful and excited team to make this work and make this happen. We have direct access to top tier artists that enables us to really make a big hit as long as we have enough financials to make that happen. And you can see here a list that is quite something. And we expect to be able to arrange concerts every month at first, and then every week or several times a week even. So to give you an idea of the revenue streams, so we have ticketing, of course, where in the case of charity concert, that's going to be the biggest aspect of it. So basically you run with a 50% gross profit. It works very well. We can even increase slightly. To give you an idea of what the market bears right now, it's about 20%. And we are a bit below that at the moment, so we can still increase our profit if need be. Besides that, on the producing aspect, we expect about 30% of concerts gross profits. I'll show you the information about that. Sponsorship, of course, and merchandise with the NFTs. So to give you a better understanding, when we are launching a concert with a top A artist, where in this case we need to advance money to them, we have, if we, let's say, we expect $3 million of revenue, 500,000 people attending the concert online, we expect to have a gross profit of about $1 million and change. Without the ticketing, the ticketing is on top of that. We estimate in our current projections that our average ticket should be around $14.67, and therefore even at a 300,000 viewers. So it's these numbers should be higher than the one that you see in the screen. The next 6 months, we would start with 4 concerts a month and then go from there. So we're raising 2 million on a convertible note to power up our technology and start the development on the blockchain, and at the same time launch the first 3 concerts. With that data, then we will start launching STOs or line of credits with on the blockchain to enable the financing of the production aspects and enable artists, the top A artists you guys like, we will put them on the web and produce them across the world. And so that's the idea, where the blockchain community can have a say and a really active impact, not only on the entertainment industry, because there is a big market share to take now, but also on the world itself. Thank you very much. So
wow, Arnaud, those 3 combined is quite the overall overarching kind of cornerstone of music and blockchain and philanthropy there. So I have many questions for you, a few just so that I can kind of wrap my mind around it. So I'd like to kind of start with the experience. So as a user, if they were to do this, and we're leveraging some bleeding edge technologies and potentially, immersive virtual reality and things like that, tell me a little bit around why someone would pay for this experience as a music lover. And I kind of know some of the secret sauce that you have of how you're going to pull this off, but tell me a little bit around what that would feel like as a user to come to one of your concerts.
So one of our bets is that we believe that there is a new genre that is opening up in the market. We believe that there will be people, even, let's say fast forward 1 year from now, and COVID is something that came by, okay? And we have it in our memory, but that's about it. We believe that there is a space for people to go to concerts from their couch. And that they obviously still the concerts, of course, there's still the music that you hear on Spotify and whatnot, but there is that beautiful space where for gamers, for people that are young most of the time, to do it from their home, maybe from a bar even, or a restaurant that has been licensed by us as well, right? To attend these concerts and have a fun experience in another way, right? So in this case, the other way is not only where we're going to be able to offer, 360 degrees filming and producing and put AR on it, where you can airdrop some NFTs to the people and they're having fun playing while, while listening to the music. But also, why not, having their VR goggles, attending the concerts from their games, like Fortnite that happened a month ago or so. And so they, from their games environment, they could, have fun and dance. And also have maybe down the road haptic costumes that enables us to feel the music, which is still a different experience than, the live concert. So, the bottom line is, we believe that there is concerts for less people in the same room, but still a lot more people at the same, at the same time in that same event. So we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people or even millions of people in the same event at the same time, which is a lot bigger than any concert that can happen, right? So we believe that this is a new type of experience that can happen, and we can go into markets that haven't been tapped yet, like developing countries that haven't received any tours from the big artists, but they still have fans there, and we can provide that to them too. So there's a huge amount of money to be made in this type of concerts, and more so if we can make an impact with it as well, right? That's amazing.
I love it. I would imagine that getting 10 million people coordinated through your event, I'm going to have a better view than if I went somewhere and had to deal with 10 million people there trying to get a good view.
Totally.
So
totally.
I love that you can create like a consistent experience, but I love that you can also create a unique experience that is unique to that user, and that they walk away with memorabilia and partaking in a unique experience. I want to make sure that everyone really understands the concerts part, because I think that is the thing that's going to hit on the most mass adoption, which then means that you have the ability to do the give music, which is, even more charitable. And that leads to an excess of wealth where you see in philanthropy and starting to give away. So it all kind of ties together. But I want to make sure that people understand this experience of being in a virtual concert and the bleeding edge technologies that go behind it. So it's not just the blockchain, and the blockchain allows for things like NFTs. The blockchain allows for the fundraising mechanism that Arnaud spoke about, and blockchain allows for also the tokenized economy that he spoke about. You also have bleeding edge technologies around some VR. And so I imagine that we can get we can peek behind the curtain and let folks be able to research some of that. But also your broadcast technologies and your digital marketing technologies, you're working with some very heavy hitters. If we can go back and pull your artist list up again, the folks that and the folks that have rallied around this project are absolute industry heavy hitters. And this is like big folks in entertainment and music, in the movie industry. And there's a lot of interest here of moving into blockchain. And keep in mind, folks, that the ideal use case for blockchain, the users never even know that it is blockchain. They just get all of these extra benefits from knowing how to use blockchain, right? But imagine being part of these, of these type of immersive experiences with Green Day or with Tool. I see many of my favorites here, including one that I have a very interesting backstage story, but that sounds inappropriate. It wasn't that inappropriate, but okay, moving forward. Arnaud, I am a huge concerts fan. I know that most people in my family, most people in my network are, into music. They have their favorites. What does it mean to be able to kind of remove those barriers between the artists themselves and their fans? I mean, we're remote, right? So they can't, get things thrown on them or anything horrible. But I mean, for some people, this would be a dream come true to meet some of these people. And that's kind of that unique experience that I believe that you're facilitating here.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, we're here to empower. It's all about empowerment, empowering in this case the artists and the fans to have further direct relationship. In this case through these live events. I think throughout the past decades, we have seen the artists becoming closer and closer to the fans, and we believe that this is the last step that will enable any artist at any time with their mobile app to using their blockchain powered app to choose a venue, or not in this case, not a venue, but a date, and say, okay, I'm throwing a concert right now. I'm going to use the AI technology to be able to sell my tickets. I'll be using, obviously, the NFT-based tickets to provide memorabilia to my fans. And then I'm going to be able to be connected using the telco technology, telco level platform that we have to enable the concerts themselves. And my fans will have whichever devices they're using, they will be able to access my concerts. That's amazing. So I think, the way I see it is blockchain is an amazing enabler, and it's a great connector. And that's what we're all about here. It's using blockchain as the back end that enables all these technologies to provide an amazing human experience and change the world at the same time. If that makes sense.
I love it. If we could, can you pull up the slide for your team really quick? I'd like to talk a little bit around your roadmap and a rumor that I heard that essentially after the virtual blockchain week event put on by the Bad Crypto podcast, I heard that Crazy Bones, who had participated in the VIP party with Elise Sam, that there was a discussion around building essentially a studio so that there could be these remote concerts, right? Like almost like a TV set just in case it's needed, so that, folks, like, it's so, it blows me away because, before COVID, we used to get in our airplanes and we used to go travel to these cities, and you'd stay overnight, and the out of pocket cost to attend a concert could really like be a lot to deal with. Or you're waiting for them to come, to your town or city. To have these kind of concerts available in the middle of the day on a Thursday sounds very appealing to me. So can you tell me a little bit about how big your team is and the things that you guys are planning to do on these like first 3 concerts, and what you're able to tell us kind of behind the scenes?
Sure, with pleasure. So I think, we had to solve 2 issues. One is obviously the viewing experience, and from the fans' perspective, but also how do we accommodate the current situation, or better said, the current need of artists and to perform within the current environment. And so it's not only creating or finding the right technologies to enable the broadcasting from anywhere, meaning where you have probably a few different artists that needs to get together and be able to broadcast from their home, and that's what we've been building, is a network of studios across the US where artists can go and broadcast, and where we have set different cameras, so like 7 cameras to enable 360 degrees producing. And so that's what we've been working on. All the inception, as you mentioned earlier, on Virtual Blockchain Week, that's what happened. How Concerts Tonight was born was out of that event, where we met with Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, and they suggested, and they were looking for us to see if we could launch a concert that would enable, to be online. And that's how Concerts Tonight was born, and how the team came together and excited by the project. And we figured out a way to create a platform that enables 10 million viewership in one concert. And we're very happy to have the Bad Crypto podcast team with Travis, who was able to generate 1.4 billion in revenue, but also with his partner Joel, together they have collected 20 million followers. Aaron, who is working with them as well. So all of them, thanks to them, we have the experience of launching an online event very nicely. And then, Jen, who comes from Sony and has a music experience, and Mike, as I mentioned earlier, and Ben. So the 3 of them are our music team. And we're very, very active putting all that together. And it's really a mix of digital marketing, high-end technology, and music to create a connection. Because, all the blockchain projects that are successful nowadays are the ones that are at the juncture of several sectors to create something new. And that's what we're doing now.
I would completely agree. That's fantastic. Well, excellent. Let's pivot a bit back over to Give Nation. I'd like to talk a bit around the technology behind it, and what does financial literacy mean to your organization? When you say that we're doing this to help the kids with financial literacy, you and I have talked about how that can mean all the way up to Wall Street and the global economic engine. What does that mean in your programs to say a 5-year-old or 6-year-old, like a younger kid, right?
I think, that's a great point. So, if we look at it from a macro perspective, financial literacy is a huge issue that the OECD have observed across the world. So it's not just the US. And where basically since the past 25 to 30 years, the kids haven't been taught about financial education. And the outcome of that is that not only are we going into worse and worse financial decisions at the country levels, but also at the individual level, we see the level of debt for students are rising and rising and rising. There are many, many issues that we're having in our society today that stems out of that lack of education. So from a kid's perspective, when we're talking about financial education, it starts with, we're rewriting the story about money. And we start with a gift coin, and that gift coin, I receive it from my parents, most likely, and it goes into my apple tree that, according to the roots that I have, which are saving, investing, playing, education, and giving, according to how I manage money within these roots, do I give on a daily basis or weekly basis? Do I play a little bit? Do I invest, etc.? My apple tree will grow. So in a very simple way, so obviously when I'm 5 years old, I won't start with the 5 roots. I will start with 2, and then it will get more and more complex as I grow up, right? But the bottom line is, again, we're using AI to make it the easiest way to use and to learn, right? And so as a kid, I have not only the ability to play, which is therefore buying, like, again, ticket concerts, right, from my favorite artist, but also to educate myself and to learn about hygiene or about, why not, crypto, of course, when I'm a bit older. And I receive coins if I understand well the question and answer them correctly. Why? Because education is positive. It has to have a positive feedback loop. And that money can also be recycled towards charities. I will select the charity I want to support, give them coins, and then I receive some points on the badge that is related to the UN Sustainable Development Goals that has been positively impacted by my actions. So it's an ongoing life-changing game that I'm having with myself, using my gift coins, which have a real value, to become a better, more positive version of myself that is pragmatic and at the same time charitable and philanthropic and altruistic. And we believe that by doing so, we can, and using the blockchain to the utmost it can, we can create an economy based on gifts and not on greed, where it is all about abundance and not survival. And that's what we hold in our vision, and that's what we believe that with blockchain, with the blockchain community, we can make it happen. Now, on the technology side, which was also another question of yours, we are using the stable coin, which is the gift coin. We're currently working on partnerships to choose the right partner to enable that technology at scale, because we're looking at 1.6 billion children. And again, as you said earlier, Christina, it has to be very simple for it to be used. If not, it won't work. So that's one. Then we'll have a gift token based on Ethereum, which is there to create a kind of a bridge between the world of the kids and the world of the adults. Partners need to stake tokens to be able to be on our platform on a per school basis. And so sellers, parents, schools, all of us have to be able to be on that platform to interact with the kids, and that's how we can do that. And then obviously there is the whole governance aspect. So we're working on a DAO now, so that we can have all the governance done by the kids, for the kids of that country, because we're building a nation on the blockchain.
Oh, that's amazing. Can you explain what a DAO is for our audience that doesn't fully understand what a decentralized autonomous organization represents, and to have it run by altruistic kids, what that could mean? Can you explain that to our audience, please?
Yeah, I think, I'm having fun showing to people a flag with our logo on it, because in the end, we're probably the 241 country, and it will be the only one sitting on the blockchain. It won't have any geographical location, but we still, have partnership with other countries like Liberland. But the bottom line is, what we're looking to do here is implement, the best possible thought processes related to managing a country, not only from a financial standpoint, we talked about that earlier, but also from a societal community standpoint, right? Where children have the capacity using their tokens to vote, not only for their local delegates, but also for their regional ones, et cetera, up to the top. And why not having tomorrow a 9 years old that will become the president of Give Nation and will say with, you know, their parliament and whatever is the outcome of what the community will decide, they will decide what is the future of the Give Nation. All that sitting on the blockchain, real time, for the good of everyone. And the idea being that Give Nation is or should be the spear, the tip of the spear, to show to the world in which direction we should go. Because so far, the adults haven't been doing a real good job at managing our planet and making sure that we're going in the right direction. So there is a safe assumption that kids might do a better job at that.
Absolutely.
And parents being there to support them and bring about the resources to plant more trees, take care of the animals, and so on and so forth. Of course, this is just a little.
I love that. I know that we have we've talked a little bit about how Coin Genius might be involved, but from a data visualization standpoint, the first thing I think of is, to your point, us adults haven't done a great job. Kids tend to have a better barometer for that kind of thing. And maybe some of the bigger, questions around society and things that get hung in court and things that get stalemate on, partisan, conflict, maybe some of that can just get solved with Give Nation. And I would love to have some kind of app that would be available on anyone's phone. So you'd be like, what did the Give Nation kids think about? 89% of them say that, and the rest of them don't fully understand. They have to go Google it some more before they're going to vote. I would love to give that kind of like real information, just because I really do think that kids have just that their compass isn't wonky yet. You know what I mean? Like eventually your compass gets wonky and you become an adult, and then you're just not a kid again. Whatever that window is, there's something special about it.
Totally. I 100% agree. And the way I see it happening is that not only can they, take decisions in their country, but also we enable them. We want to enroll not only the kids, but also their parents and also the companies behind the parents, so that everybody goes in the same direction. We offer to parents and companies to match the kids' donations or overmatch them even. So that when a kid takes a decision, it has a bigger impact than the one he can have. Of course, it's normal. And so, gradually creating and using music as a way to enroll more and more people in the same patterns. Hence the reason why we're also building concerts tonight. It would be an amazing, I want to see that. I want to live it, because that should be really awesome.
I love it. Well, Coin Genius is definitely working with Charity Genius and, those initiatives. So there's a lot that goes on in the charity world. We're trying to leverage blockchain to make it more transparent and for folks to be able to understand where their money is going. Where did the money go? That tends to be a really big deal these days. So there's a lot that you can do with blockchain and philanthropy. If you're interested to learn more, please reach out to us at info@coingenius.ai. Arnaud, if folks want to get a hold of you or get involved in any of your projects, how can they find you?
Well, very good question. I think the best approach would be to go on givenation.world. You can see there the team and everything. You can also find me on LinkedIn, also on Telegram. We have Give Nation forum there, so you can reach out there. There are many ways. I'm quite available. Or you can reach out to Elise Sam as well, my co-founder in both entities. And so together we're making a good team.
Fabulous. Well, we will get your links pulled together when the CoinGenius pages are released in about a month. So somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks when all of that's going to roll out for our oracles, for our Genius Network, for all of the best brands in the industry, and for investable projects like Arnaud's project here with Give Nation and the investable side on concerts tonight, which then leads to the ability for Give Music, which is the philanthropic music arm of everything that Arnaud is. And so, Arnaud, thank you so much for joining us here today. Is there anything that you feel our audience must know about you before you go?
I would say I came into blockchain a few years back with the idea, and the heart opened because I believe that all together as a community, we can have a huge impact on absolutely everyone. We all talked about the banks and the banks and all that stuff. Yes, of course. And we can actually change society in a big, big, big way. So we're here to lead the charge between quotes. And I think, and I'm very grateful for CoinGenius to be with us here now. And I believe that we should be all together going in that direction, because there is a big, big wave that we can ride and get to mass adoption way faster than what people believe if we go in the same direction together. So it's my wish that we partner and work together and grow together and make this planet a better place for everyone to live in.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Arnaud. We'll be speaking with you soon at one of the upcoming events. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.